powerful Abby Wambach have eyes on a WPS title too. It's the WPS Super Semi. Philadelphia magicJack next. That is the Commodore Barry Bridge, and we are at the WPS Super Semifinal. PPL Park, Chester, Pennsylvania. It's the Philadelphia Independents and magicJack right here on Fox. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dean Linke, along with my broadcast partner, Jen Hildreth, and boy, do we have a great one here today as we put the World Cup superstars on center stage. And these two teams met 4 times during the season. They split, Jen, but really it's the first time both teams at full strength.
Right. You know, during the World Cup break, Philadelphia beat up on magicJack, but that was when magicJack was without all of their U.S. national team players. magicJack won the other 2 meetings, including just a week ago. But really, this is the first time that the game's 2 biggest stars, magicJack's Abby Wambach and Philadelphia's Veronica Boquete, will face off.
Boy, the Spanish sensation Vero has been amazing.
She has been great. Such a force coming out of the midfield for Philadelphia. 5 goals and 4 assists in 11 appearances for Philadelphia this season. And I tell you what, if she wins the space in front of that magicJack back line, that could be the difference in this match for Philadelphia's attack. They are 9-1 with Vero in the starting lineup.
Well, when you put the spotlight on magicJack, you got to be talking about arguably the world's greatest player right now, Abby Wambach.
Abby continuing the hot streak she's been on since returning from Germany. She had 2 goals in the first round Wednesday night. She has 7 goals and 1 assist in her last 5 appearances, and Philadelphia is going to have to figure out a way to try to stop Abby.
All right, the Western New York Flash await the winner. It's Philadelphia, and it's magicJack, and it's next.
Stars versus small-town heroes.
Cut a hole in this hood and I'll cut your neck.
Car Warriors. It all begins Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, followed by Car Science, only on Speed.
Hi, I'm Abby Wambach, and I used my head a lot to score in this year's World Cup. I'm here to tell you how you can score the hottest money-saving device since the invention of the telephone. It's called the magicJack. I use it to call home every day for free, saving me hundreds of dollars. I love magicJack, and you will too.
We didn't just add guacamole, bacon, and Swiss to a burger. We added it to a Whopper. Enjoy the California Whopper and California Whopper Junior sandwiches, only at Burger King.
Get Total Cubs coverage online with CSNChicago.com, powered by Feltco. For an inside look at the Cubs, visit CSNChicago.com, a fan's best friend online.
Are you among the millions of Americans struggling to pay your bills?
If so, let me answer some of your questions and provide you with the right information so you can make the best choice for you and your family.
If I file bankruptcy, will I lose everything I own?
No. Almost everyone who files for bankruptcy gets to keep their home, cars, and personal belongings.
Will filing bankruptcy ruin my credit forever?
No. Over 90% of the people who file bankruptcy can improve their credit scores over time.
Most people don't realize that bankruptcy was enacted by Congress to give those in debt a fresh start.
Isn't it better to use one of those bill consolidation or debt settlement companies I see on TV?
Truth is, no. 75% of those programs actually fail, leaving you with a very poor credit score and most of your bills. As the largest bankruptcy firm in the country, we really can eliminate your bills once and for all.
Just go online to LegalHelpers.com for a free consultation or call 1-888-7-HELP-US and get a fresh start.
The USO provides every American a way to support our wounded warriors and their families. Visit USO.org to learn how you can make a difference in their lives.
What's up? It's your girl Tasha Kai, and here's your starting lineup for the Philadelphia Independents.
The Independence in a 4-4-2. This is just the third time all season, though, that Tasha Kai, Amy Rodriguez, and Veronica Boquette have all started. Paul Riley spent a lot of time over the last few weeks getting his front runners especially comfortable playing together.
Hi, I'm Megan Rapinoe from the magicJacks, and this is our starting lineup for today's game.
Megan Rapinoe going against her former team in Philadelphia. She has 2 goals and 2 assists for magicJack this season. This lineup, though, has been good for magicJack. They're 5-1 with this lineup, with one exception. Keep an eye on that back line. Lydia Vandenberg filling in for Tina Ellerton, who came out of the first-round playoff game with a hamstring injury.
All right, Jen, and running the middle is Ted Uncle in this WPS Super Semifinal, PPL Park, as we get ready for what should be a fantastic match. And they held some hardware out here today at PPL Park. Nikki Krizik, the City Sportswoman of the Year and the captain of the Philadelphia Independents. And how about the MVP? Didn't play that many games, but boy, she's been amazing. The 2011 Michelle Akers Player of the Year award went to Vero. She's been dominant, and for the second consecutive season, Paul Riley was named the WPS Coach of the Year. Congratulations to all 3 of those outstanding individuals in WPS. They also recognized Kristen Press, and there's Paul Riley. What a great job, along with Skip Thorpe. He's done an amazing job at Philadelphia, Jen.
This has been quite a run the last couple years for Philadelphia, making it all the way to the championship game last year, but falling short. A lot more rested as they come into the playoffs this year as the number 2 seed.
And there is Abby Wambach. She is doing it all. The player coach, wearing number 20 and capturing the hearts of the entire country during the past Women's World Cup as they made all the way to the final and lost to Japan on penalty kicks. Abby Wambach has just been amazing. She's been through a lot in these past several weeks and is ready to go one more time here today. Tasha Kai. Such personality as you look at Vero's. We're getting ready here on steamy day in Chester, just south of Philadelphia, and right off the bat it's out of bounds. And Jen, you just saw magicJack a few days ago. What did you take from what you saw from this Abby Wambach led team, magicJack?
Boy, they're good. They're strong. You know, nobody's really had a chance to see magicJack much this season, but with this full complement of players, they are just solid all the way around, from their back line to their midfield and obviously up top with Abby and Kristen Press.
Megan Rapinoe, who was acquired from this Philadelphia team for a large sum of money. Paul Riley calling it strictly a business decision, and definitely was worried about the day that Megan Rapinoe would come back and hurt his team. We'll see if that happens today. As you look at the colors right there, magicJack, the visitors, in white, black, and white. Philadelphia in gray with the yellow-gray tube socks.
I love what Paul Riley said. He said, you know, I wish nothing but the best for Megan Rapinoe. I just hope she has her worst day today. She can play great the rest of the time.
Rapinoe plays it back to Rampone. Now Philadelphia. Jen Buskowski will sit in front of these back 4, and Coach Paul Riley wants her to be able to float around. Robinson to A-Rod. Over to DiMartino. DiMartino started this WPS season with goals in her first 2 games. She has not scored since, but she is a dynamic player, one that Paul Riley always pencils in.
One of those players that can keep things moving quickly. You're going to see Philadelphia try to keep the tempo really fast in this match. Quick 1-2 touches through the midfield, trying to feed their 2 front runners in Amy Rodriguez and Tasha Kai.
A-Rod, marked by her USA teammate Sauerbrunn. A-Rod hoping to link up with Tasha Kai. It's been a work in progress, according to Coach Paul Riley. All right, Jen, as always, I look forward to your keys. First, let's talk about for Philadelphia.
Well, I'm going to focus on defense for my keys to this match for both teams. And for Philadelphia, pressure the passers. You've got to step up and cut off that service from the flanks to try to find Abby Wambach with. And that's Sarah Huffman, Megan Rapinoe specifically. For magicJack, well, mark the MVP. Don't allow Veronica Bouquet to be a playmaker. That's going to be somebody's job to try to pick her up.
Wambach, flag stays down. Marked by McNeil, goes around McNeil. Wambach will drop it. There is no white jersey there. Wambach had it on her right foot. Decided to pass it, and that's a matchup, McNeil versus Wambach, that Coach Paul Riley said he likes. Of course, it's never easy trying to guard number 20. Over the top, making the run from the back is Rampone. Rampone will first time it across, finds the head of Wambach, but not quite on target. Great run from the veteran Christy Rampone.
What an overlapping run from Rampone to get outside, and Philadelphia knows that's where magicJack is going to try to attack them. Paul Riley telling us that 2/3 of magicJack's goals this season have come from service from the outside. But that right there is exactly the kind of ball Philadelphia can't afford to let get in the box too often in this match.
Wambach with 9 goals and 2 assists, 2 big goals in the playoffs on Wednesday in a win over Tony DeChico's Boston Breakers. Congratulations to the Breakers on getting into the playoffs. Nikki Krizik. Sophie Schmidt, who has really been a great addition, so key for Canada as well. You're talking about one of the top young internationals right there, and Sophie Schmidt played at Portland. Here's DiMartino. Cannot give her too much space. Sauerbrunn comes over in support. Tasha Kai will chest it down. Top of the 18, plays it back to herself. And that was Shannon Box tracking all the way back.
Nice moves by Kai, but in the end, nobody to follow up with.
Shot by Philadelphia. Boy, and Lloyden was frozen in her tracks. Not quite sure if she got a look at that, Jen.
She was content to watch that one, Dean, and I think as it glanced just past the outside of the post, she might think next time to make a move on it. That one much closer, maybe even glanced off the post. You could tell from that angle. Bouquet making sure everybody knows exactly who she is out there in the field, as if there was any doubt. But Lloyden a little lucky there, I think, that one did go wide.
Bouquet with the 5 goals and 4 assists. Didn't play a whole lot of games, still won MVP. That's making an impact, Jen.
She had a stretch there where she had 3 game-winning goals in 4 matches for Philadelphia, all 1-0 decisions, and that certainly speaks to the value you bring to your club.
Clutch. Leanne Robinson with the right foot, looking for McNeil, too strong as Lloyden will run it down. Of course, Lloyden along with Hope Solo. Hope Solo coming back from the World Cup, trying to get healthy, so it's Lloyden's job. Lloyden will be the goalkeeper if they make it all the way.
Lloyden, one of 7 U.S. national team players on magicJack's squad. And that doesn't include Lindsay Tarpley, who was injured early in the season.
Tarpley started the first 3 games for magicJack. Dalmy, 2 years with the Chicago Red Stars. Flag is up. So, Jen, Philadelphia obviously able to rest a little bit. Sometimes you want to keep playing. These 2 teams have really been on a stretch. As you look at Paul Riley, where they were playing, it seemed like every Wednesday, every Saturday. Does the rest hurt or help?
I think at this point it helps if you're Philadelphia, because it's not been an extended rest. They played last weekend. It's not even been 7 days since their last match. So in that sense, that's good. They're kind of on a schedule that is comparable to what they played throughout much of the season. They did have some more Wednesday matches coming down the stretch, but look at magicJack playing 2 matches a week, every week since July 20th, and I think absolutely that's going to take its toll.
They've won 5 of their last 6, though, magicJack. They come in red hot. DiMartino had Kai, went short to Boquette. What a great step over. Boquette had it deflected just a bit, and that helps Lloyden get to it.
This is how Philadelphia wants to attack. They're going to come right at you, right up the middle, try to slip some pretty little passes through. Vero does her thing to create some space and get a shot off. 4 jerseys around her, and she still gets a pretty decent foot behind the ball.
Of course, she helped Buffalo win the W League title last year, one of the few that Aaron Lyons at Western New York Flash let get away. She played a little bit with Chicago to end the season after winning that title, and boy, so dynamic. It's up to Boquette in a foot race there. Sauerbrunn does well to head it back to Lloyden.
I'm surprised a little bit that Philadelphia hasn't tried to attack Lydia Vandenberg a little bit more. She gets the ball now, filling in for Tina Ellertson. Kai putting some pressure on, as she should continue to do. Paul Riley telling us we want to go right at her. Tina Ellertson is such a superb defender, and to not have her in the lineup, well, you try to look for the weakest link, and right now that probably is Vandenberg.
Boy, DiMartino chose Kai, as we'll keep an eye on that Vandenberg matchup over there. And well said about Ellertson, such a dynamic defender, being in and out of the USA program. That is a key injury in this one.
And she is listed as available. She's on the bench. And
look at Rapinoe to Wambach. McNeil tracks back. We'll play it to the right foot of Nicole Barnhart. First time we're able to say her name, as she, along with Lloyden, part of that USA World Cup team. And Barnhart, what a great, great goalkeeper.
Got the United States top 3 goalkeepers right here on these 2 rosters, if you include Hope Solo, who's still recovering from her shoulder injury.
Schmidt saw Wambach, was hoping to make that perfect diagonal ball.
But McNeil saw it too. I mean, if you look at her placement on the field, Kia knew exactly where Abby was on that play.
Sinead Farley. She has battled through some injuries here in her rookie campaign. She was a player that Coach Paul Riley wanted on here in the Super Semis. Talked quite a bit about what Farley brings.
Talented player, number 2 overall pick for Philadelphia, has been hurt, missed the last 3 games, although Paul Riley telling us she probably could have played in the regular season finale against magicJack. He just chose to rest her, as he did a couple of his other players, including Tasha Cox.
Philadelphia played all the regular season games at Widener University, and Paul Riley talking about the 5-year plan is to play their games right here. This is a beautiful facility, PPL Park. The diagonal ball. A-Rod held up by Rampone. The whistle from Ted Uncle. She'll ask Christy Rampone to come over, and be a card.
Yeah, this is a tactical foul, really, because breaking up the promising attack by Rampone. I mean, the 2 of them, I think, battling back and forth, and in the end, I think Rodriguez sold it a little bit as she lost her footing. But I think there was definitely both players working the contact there. So in an instance like that, the severity of the foul doesn't matter if you're Ted Uncle. He's just looking to see if it's a tactical foul, and he thought Rampone was trying to break up a promising attack.
And that'll allow Boquette, the yellow to Rampone. Boquette trying to size one up. Krizik made the near post run. And this will come back to Lloyden. So the first real dangerous set piece handled by magicJack. Boquette, what a perfect chest over to DiMartino. DiMartino wanted it back. Now she'll get it. She wanted it a second ago, and DiMartino apparently thought she was offside, didn't bother with it.
Maybe that, or she thought Leanne Robinson was in support.
Box. Great juke to just create more space. Good first touch by Vandenberg. Vandenberg will now take it down the left side. Johnson tries to come over in support. Cleared out by Krizik. Boy, that move, though, just shows the class of Shannon Box. Just always aware. I mean, you're talking about a player in box just 3 years ago was in the top 10 for FIFA Player of the Year. Number 7, Shannon Box.
Had some pressure on her, but had the wherewithal to know where that space was open on the field and put the ball right where she needed to.
Box. Well documented her meteoric rise to the U.S. national team, earning her first cap actually the World Cup. This one sent over press. Time gold medal winner Box with her left foot. Great ball to Wambach. Loves being on that left side. Paul Riley talked about that, Jen Hildreth. Abby likes to drift over to the left side.
And when she does, that's really incumbent upon Kia McNeil to know where she is. This time, Kia more central. And they decide to let Estelle Johnson step up on Abby. And really just an errant touch there by Wambach. Probably could have gotten a better shot off.
It was Wambach with great service from Sarah Huffman, but wide open. It gave magicJack a 1-0 lead on the Boston Breakers, who actually fought back to tie it. Schmidt pressures. But Neal does well to get it to Johnson.
I was going to say, other than that first ball that Christy Rampone ran down and sent in, magicJack hasn't been able to get the kind of service that we typically see from them, that they like in their attack. Credit Philadelphia for that.
Okay. So DiMartino. Sour run. And Vandenberg.
And Vandenberg does well there. Had Kai and some pressure coming on and keeps possession.
Vandenberg, a key part of those great Clemson teams not that long ago, that regulars in the NCAA tournament. Here's Robinson, lead by Huffman. Cleaned up by Buskowski, a player that Paul Riley trumpets for more attention from the U.S. national team. Star at Notre Dame. A-Rod had more space than she realized. Back, and Boquette runs into a wall named Shannon Box.
Yeah, A-Rod needed a better touch. It was a nice, promising little possession for Philadelphia, but broken up by bad touch by Amy Rodriguez.
Wambach, so physical, so strong. Back to her right, looks up for a white jersey. She'll square it to Box. Box with a great fake. Box can fire. I think she was trying to shoot that one as press was testing the line.
Philadelphia, though, maybe getting a bit of a wake-up call there. No way should Shannon Box step into the space with that much of it in front of her. In the end, her shot, not a good one, but initially when she came to the ball, Dean, there were no gray jerseys around her. You don't want to break for the ball after she's already going for it. You need to anticipate and step in there sooner. And if Buskowski is pulled in to defend already, that needs to be someone else in the midfield, probably Farley, who comes in and helps out there.
Brilliant first-time ball there from Rapinoe, finding press. Was hoping to pay off Wambach. Kai looked to be offside. Flake stays down, though. Kai is in. Tracking all the way back is Sauerbrunn. Boy, that looked awful close, but she clearly must have looped around and stayed onside.
Usually when you see an offensive player that wide open, offside is the call. And from there, I don't think that was from when the ball was served. She certainly looked off to me. But it's saved by a tremendous bit of defending from Becky Sauerbrunn.
Tremendous indeed. A lot of players would have stopped thinking for sure it was an offside, and you saw that extra burst when she realized the flag did not go up.
The speed and then the smart play to get the ball out of there without committing the foul.
Tasha with 9 goals and 1 assist. Kai, there's Sauerbrunn. Such a key role in the World Cup when Rachel Bueller had to sit one out. Star at Virginia.
WPS Iron Woman, who prior to the World Cup had never missed a minute of play in WPS action.
Wambach. It's Huffman who dropped it. Press is on it now. Press. Former star at Stanford.
magicJack just seems a little out of sync to me when they're in their attack.
Vandenberg will lose it to A-Rod. A-Rod, though, it's 1-on-4. A-Rod will try it on her own. It was Vandenberg who lost the ball, and it was Vandenberg who cleaned it up.
Well, you know what I think is horrible about that play for Philadelphia is 3 players were behind Amy Rodriguez jogging. Come up and give her some support. She's got 3 defenders on her on a great takeaway. Boquette, DiMartino, Kai were all jogging behind her. Somebody needs to run up and give her some support.
Especially after that great defensive effort right there by A-Rod, number 8. Such a breakout year last season here, coming over from Boston. A little tougher go at it this season. Dropped it perfectly to box. Here's Huffman now. Jen Hildreth talked about the fact that she was so busy on Wednesday. And the win over Boston, a little quiet in this one.
Part of it is Philadelphia's midfield is so good. You force your opponent's midfielders to have to defend more than they'd like.
That time Kai was clearly offside.
And stole a little glance over at the official and knew that flag was coming up before she saw it.
Vandenberg. A-Rod, what a great ball to Vero. Vero looks up, has Kai on her right. Plays it into space to Kai, and here's where Jen's talking about. Needs some great jerseys to support. They're still outside the 18. Now they're in. Sent across. DiMartino's there. And so is Dalmy. Pino quickly plays it. Definitely part of the magicJack game plan. Huffman down the right side. Looking for Wambach. McNeil heads it out of there with authority. Farley on Rapinoe. Making another ambitious run. That's twice now for the captain, Christy Rampone.
She just looks fantastic. You'd never imagine that Christy Rampone would be tired with the schedule she's come at down the stretch. But she just seems to have a little bit more energy than just about anybody else on the field right now. She's one of those players that stands out, and quite a resume for Christy Rampone. And of course, I would add to that soccer mom. Riley and Reese, her 2 daughters, out at the first-round playoff game on Wednesday, and husband Chris there as well. Soccer-loving family for sure. and I saw her daughter Riley signing autographs after the game.
Wow, I'll tell you what, getting started early. You see some of the footage of those two as well, even the little one, like 1 year old with a soccer ball at her feet. It's amazing. Signing autographs. Press. So great at Stanford was Press. 183 points, 71 goals, 41 assists.
Talk about some gaudy numbers.
Rapinoe. Johnson will clear it out.
Kristen Press had 8 goals in the regular season to help earn her the Rookie of the Year award. She was so clutch when so many of her teammates were away at the World Cup.
Sent across, far side. Already went disaster. When you talk about the teams being away for the World Cup, you know, definitely seems like these two teams had 2 different tactics for sure. Philadelphia went 7 wins and 1 tie in 8 games played without their World Cup players. Meanwhile, magicJack went 1-1-3 with 3 losses, a big difference.
And that goes back to how these two teams were built. Philadelphia clearly a team not built upon U.S. stars. Oh, big collision.
Wambach taking out McNeil.
We expected this to be quite the matchup, both just coming in full speed there for the ball. 2 physical players. I don't really think there's a need for any more discipline there. I thought both players went after the ball, though Ted Unkel is going to speak to Abby Wambach about it. I hope Kia McNeil is all right. I mean, Abby does get there a little late. Kia wins the ball first, and Abby doesn't even really have time to get up in the air. And so in that sense, could certainly be considered a little reckless upon second glance there.
It was almost like she didn't have any choice but to put her arms up there, as you said, Jen. Kia McNeil from Boston College, hails from Connecticut. There's Abby Wambach. Some crowd here at PPL Park. Kia McNeil, that is a matchup that Paul Riley really likes.
McNeil will step off for a moment with the trainer on the sideline to make sure all is well. But she is on the opposite sideline from where her bench is, so we expect her to return shortly.
You mentioned Kristen Press, 183 points in college. Abby Wambach in Florida, 241. 96 goals, 49 assists in the national championship. He didn't play as many games as Kristen Press, so Abby Wambach's been doing it for a long, long time. Rapinoe played with Dalmy at Chicago. Times when Dalmy even played at midfield, so you know she can go forward. Looking for Huffman on that right side, headed out by Robinson. To magicJack. Still no score. Super semifinal, PPL Park, Chester, Pennsylvania. Dean Linke along with Jen Hildreth. Delighted to be with you. Western New York awaits the winner of this one. In the WPS Championship, here's Rampone with Kai closing in. Kai with a whole lot of Sauerbrunn jersey.
Gets away with it.
More than halfway through this first half, no score. Your thoughts, Jen?
So far, I think defensively, Philadelphia has done well to not allow magicJack to play their game and get comfortable in their attack. We haven't really seen any of those dangerous balls come flying into the box from the wings, and that's a credit to Philadelphia. On the other end, I think the Independents need to just support each other a little bit more when they get into their attack. Paul Riley said, you know, if this comes down to individual talent, magicJack will win. I mean, he knows what's out there. He sees all those national team players. He said, but if it comes down to collective talent, then we have the edge. He said, I believe my team is more invested. We've played together all season long, and the Independents need to make that team aspect work for them.
Huffman, driven far side. Boxer's able to win it. Cleared out by Buskowski. Rapinoe will try to settle. Rapinoe's not afraid to shoot from there. Closed up nicely by Farley. Farley's been all over Rapinoe. She wanted to shoot. She finally did.
Oh, that's Sinead Farley's job in this match. She's one of those players in the midfield that Paul Riley will devote to defense in this match and to be all over Megan Rapinoe. That's why we haven't really called Rapinoe's name much, and really well done here by Farley. Rapinoe eventually does juke her out just enough to get some space, but doesn't have much of an angle to work with.
Rapinoe, 2 goals and 2 assists with magicJack. Also had a goal with Philadelphia.
Kia McNeil back on the field, but Estelle Johnson now down for Philadelphia. This time Johnson is the player who comes in late. Looks like an elbow from Rapinoe. Might be what took her down.
Tanisha Adams has been filling in a little bit at left back as well. Estelle Johnson's sister got married. Tanisha Adams went back there, showing her versatility. She's a little banged up, but listed on the bench for Paul Riley.
Both teams have some good options on the bench, especially when it comes to the attack. As you said, Denisha can sub in the back. You get a look at Philadelphia's bench. Val Henderson sitting there in the front row. Lord Del Rio. Leanne Sanderson. Quite a few attacking options. Tanisha Adams. Meanwhile, magicJack has on their bench Lisa Devanna and Ella Masser, the 2 players who linked up for the 2 goals to beat Philadelphia just a week ago.
Nikki Washington, who has been outstanding with assists this season and limited playing time. There's magicJack's bench.
Tina Ellertson there as well. Not sure how available she is.
Press will take a shot. Nicole Barnhart has to tip it over the crossbar. A great shot from long distance.
Kristen Press doesn't need much space, and she saw just enough to decide she was going to call her own number. Philadelphia trailing the play there. Nobody stepping up in front of Press, and she knows it. Good reactions from Barnhart just to get her over the bar.
Megan Rapinoe. Driven in. Kai got a piece of it. A-Rod. This is where Jen pointed out she needs support. She wins it, drops it back. Now the team comes forward together. Talk about that teamwork. He also just mentioned conditioning. He just felt like he had a better conditioned team right now, but they weren't showing that early on, Jen, when they were doing the breakaways. Boquette. A-Rod wants it. She'll get it. A-Rod will shoot it. Lloyden gets down, makes the save as Kai comes closing in.
And Amy Rodriguez may have been better suited there to try to find Kai. Nobody running with Kai, and instead of taking the shot, a little touch to Tasa Kai would have been very tough to defend here. See, Kai, look, the defender steps over and nobody's on Kai. I think Amy Rodriguez needs to pass that one. Of course, it's all easier when you look back to figure out what you should have done. But those two, Kai and A-Rod, working together is going to be key. It's something just a few weeks ago, Paul Riley said, you know what, I can't play them together. They don't work well together. And when we talked to him this week, he said, you know what, that wasn't good enough. Well, we brought those two here to play together, and now they finally have had a few weeks where they can solidly work on training together and getting comfortable with one another. So he said, we're going to pull the trigger and put them both out there. The key was for A-Rod and Tasha Kai not to duplicate each other's runs, and I remember seeing that earlier in the season. Oftentimes they'd wind up in the same place, and that makes the job far too easy for the defense.
Vandenberg. Wambach down and not happy about it. Schmidt. Press. Domi. She saw something in Nicole Barnhart. Barnhart came back. Barney so good in goal for this Philadelphia Independence team. Of course, a lot of credit to Val Henderson, who filled in admirably while Barney was at the World Cup.
No doubt, Philadelphia, I don't think would be in this position if not for the play of Val Henderson in goal.
Kai is onside. Kai is there. Tries to flick it over. Oh, and just over the crossbar. Tasha Kai.
That's a couple of times that Jill Loyden has come out and hasn't quite gotten there in time. Tasha Kai nearly makes her pay for it this time, but Loyden clearly feeling she has to get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
and Kai knows golden opportunity lost, but if Philadelphia can keep drawing Loyden out, boy, that's all the better for your strikers.
So close for Kai. 9 goals on the season. Boquette, how did she win that back? Plays it to Amy Rodriguez. Now Kai wants it back from Farley. Farley turns the other way. Kai's still there. Now Farley will take the shot, but right to Loyden.
Good numbers again in the attack for Philadelphia. They can be so dangerous when they bring all those different players up at you, and that's part of the reason Loyden maybe feels like she has to cover more ground, because her defenders, even her 2 central defenders, are getting pulled apart back there when you've got so many different jerseys running at you.
Rapinoe. Neal did a good job stepping up, and then Farley was there again. Dalmy, marked by Robinson. Dalmy wants it on her right to try to serve it in. Plays it near the end line. Is able to cross and press. What a move! Oh my, off the post. Wambach can't finish. Flag is up down here anyway. Wambach may have been offside. What a move from Press.
This all starts, though, because the service is allowed down that right flank. Kia McNeil has to go over to try to help on Press. That's what leaves Wambach open. But if you're Leanne Robinson, you cannot allow Dalmy to get it to her right foot and cross it in. You can't. You know that's where she wants to go. Take that away, force her go the other direction. And you eliminate all the issues that then go on after that.
Well said, Jen. There was no doubt that Dalmy only had one option, and she was able to get to it. Boquette, that was that right foot. What a move by Press, though, and absolute hammer. Rodriguez with Loyden stretching to her right as this game starts to open up. These two teams played 4 times during the season, and they had at least 1 goal in every half. As we look at 0-0 right now, Jen. Martino, A-Rod gives it right back to her. World World-class soccer on display. That's what you expect. The WPS Super Semis, PPL Park. No score, but it's starting to open up. Switch it to the right side. Robinson doing a good job keeping an eye on Huffman. Press. Cleaned up by Schmidt. Great ball back to Dolmy. Nikki Krizik. What a key tackle that was. Able to win that. Sent across. McNeil. Press is there. Corner kick.
And that ball from Huffman, a near replica of the one that set up the goal for Abby Wambach on Wednesday night as it curled away from the goal. This one a little further out though, and the defense was able to get in on it.
Huffman. Schmidt making a near post run. It's over Schmidt's head. There's Wambach. How does she do it every single time? You know it's going to her, and she still gets her head on the ball.
Her timing is so good, and her movement before the ball gets there to get in the position she wants. Kia McNeil was where she needed to be between Wambach and the goal. Tasha Kai was there to help as well. Paul Riley said we're going to double team her on every set piece, but as you just saw, she still has the capability of beating you. I mean, when she goes up in the air, there are few who can challenge her and get up as high as she does and beat her to the ball in the air.
Boquette. DiMartino's there. DiMartino's in with the left, and Lloyden covering the near post keeps this one at 0.
A patented Philadelphia attack. Vero does such a good job at immediately transitioning into offense when she gets a takeaway, and she just slips this one through. They work right down the middle. DiMartino makes the run, but Lloyden had her angle down.
Press. Chipped some paint just a few minutes ago. Huffman, what a step over. Over to Box. Box on her left.
Those last two sequences, perfect examples of how these teams want to play. Philadelphia going right up the middle. magicJack, when they came down in their attack, trying to get it wide and then go back in to find some space for Box. This starts because it goes out to Huffman. Nice little move. She sees she doesn't have much in front of her, and there's an awful lot of space for Box.
A-Rod trying to flick it to Boquette. Great awareness by Dolmy. Good communication in that back line as Sauerbrunn and Rampone both telling her. Boquette is on the backside. Here's Vandenberg. A-Rod uses the space, has Kai to her right. Kai plays it out wide.
Well, that first touch got away from Tasha Kai, caused her to go out a little wider than she intended. Better play at that time by Amy Rodriguez, though, knowing she had Tasha Kai outside, and if Kai brings that ball in rather than out with her first touch, she has a much better look on goal.
41st minute, no score, but some great soccer here. Rapinoe to press. Huffman sends it right back to press. Krizik clears it for a moment. Good tackle by Buskowski. Schmidt stays with it. You see Christy Rampone coming forward. Philadelphia in gray. magicJack in white, black and white. Rapinoe. Schmidt on her left.
Philadelphia will be happy with that if that's going to be the end result. Sophie Schmidt certainly can do better. She's had to play an awful lot of defense so far in this half. Her player who came to magicJack after the conclusion of the World Cup, as you mentioned, Dean, a member of the Canadian national team. One of 4 acquisitions to magicJack, a team that's undergone an awful lot of change. And all 11 players, Dean, from magicJack no longer on the roster, either due to injury or trade or just being let go. And I think the drama off the field of this team has been fairly well documented. Issues with owner Dan Boroslow being suspended. And time again, the players have said, you know, when we talked to Abby this week, she said, we just need to focus on soccer. They've got a tremendous product here. They've finally had a few weeks together to get used to one another.
Sauerbrunn will lose it. DiMartino stays with it as Boquette is on the ground. Philadelphia wants to keep playing, and I think because Boquette was down, Kai decides to boom it over to Lloyden.
Looks like she got smacked in the face, actually, by Becky Sauerbrunn. Not intentionally, but enough to send Vero to the ground for a little while.
2 minutes of stoppage time. Vandenberg to Wambach. For the first time to Rapinoe. Huffman. Robinson steps in. Huffman goes around her. And Martino comes over in support. She'll clear it though right to Dalmy. Dalmy with that great right foot sends it in. McNeil comes over. Plays it into space. Robinson's probably thinking McNeil should have cleared that into the stands. magicJack continues to press. Speaking of press, Kristen Press was hoping to find box cleared out by Krizik. Up to A-Rod. A-Rod, bit of a lone soldier up there right now. Box looking for Rapinoe. Really thought Wambach was tucking back over, but she wasn't there. Two minutes of added time. Wambach pressuring Barnhart.
Cool and calm as always.
What a ball! Kai is in! Kai with the shot right to Lloyden. Boy, fantastic soccer. What a ball from A-Rod to free Kai.
And what a ball from Nicole Barnhart, too, to get the whole thing started. But Tasha Kai, you know, she's going to be kicking herself. She's had a couple of those now she could have put away. And as Paul Riley told us, as the playoffs go on, you're not going to get as many looks as you usually do. You really need to be efficient in front of goal and finish when you get your opportunity.
Dalmy looking for Wambach. Boy, Jen, that is so on point, because he also talked about the fact that Kai and Rodriguez are going to spin off this player right here, Boquette, and they've been doing it. No goals to show for it, though. Boquette, what a diagonal ball to Rodriguez. She'll hammer it. Oh, and can't sneak it in. Far post. Lloyden have near post covered, and A-Rod not on target.
This is exactly the kind of scenario magicJack doesn't want to see, thinking they had offside, but Amy Rodriguez stays on. Vero Boquette is the playmaker and finds A-Rod, and she just doesn't finish it. Tough angle there for Amy Rodriguez, but a great sequence from the Independents.
That pass indicative of why Boquette is the MVP of this league. Such a difference maker, a player worth the wait.
No doubt.
DiMartino. know, Aaron Lyons and the Western New York Flash watching this one as Ted Unkel with the whistle. 45 minutes, no score, but really a dynamic first half.
Well, I think both of these teams have shown their ability and what they can possibly do. Neither's been able to convert yet, but it's been a well-played first half. Both defense have really having to work hard, and neither offense has been able to put their stamp on this game yet.
Both looking to advance to the WPS championship game. They are giving it all as Kai is down. We'll come back with more from PPL Park.
It was created with the power of Verizon 4G LTE. Introducing the lightning-fast 10-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab. Stay up to date, entertain yourself, and enrich your knowledge like you've never imagined. Only at Verizon. Built so you can rule the air.
I wasn't born to push papers. I was born to push myself. To go where I'm needed. Keep this country safe. I was born with the backbone and brain power to take on any mission. This is my office. I was born ready.
Go coastguard.com/reserve.
Turn left. You have arrived.
Sweet belt. E-reader for textbooks. GPS. HD video cam for lectures. Gamepad.
Have you ever considered this by Motorola? It's got all that and more than 200,000 apps.
Technology to learn and play on the go. Only at Verizon. Get the latest smartphones like the more powerful than ever Droid X2 by Motorola. Buy one for $199.99, get another one free.
Get closer to the field on game day as Comcast Sportsnet, Menards, and the Cubs team up to select 6 lucky winners to be a Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day. Winner will enjoy the full game day experience of preparing the friendly confines and will help drag the infield during the 4th inning in front of a packed house. Winner also receives 4 tickets to the game, a Menards groundskeeper uniform, and pregame photos on the field. To enter the Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day, visit any Menards location to pick up an entry postcard.
Right now, when you buy Feldco windows, siding, and doors, the labor is free.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Get free professional installation at do-it-yourself prices with Feldco. Feldco is the Window and Door Magazine Dealer of the Year. Let the Feldco team of professionals install your windows, siding, and doors absolutely free.
The labor's on us, so hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
This offer won't last long.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
Fox Soccer, your home for the UEFA Champions League. They've got the playoffs, the second leg, coming to you Tuesday, August 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern, live in HD, and it doesn't stop there. How about Wednesday, August 24th, 2 p.m. Eastern, Arsenal takes center stage right here on Fox. Paul Riley, the reigning WPS Coach of the Year. We caught up with him here at halftime where it's 0-0 and asked him about the combination of A-Rod and Tasha Kai.
I think they've been superb so far, and I think Vero's finding them inside, outside. You know, Vero's finding a great space around Boxy and behind Boxy, and we're going to keep going to Vero, and hopefully one of these chances will go in the back of the net. But we've done a good job up front of spreading them out, and now I'm excited for the second half. We've just got to get Vero more of the ball. The more she gets the ball, the more creativity we'll get, and hopefully we'll bang one of these chances away.
Certainly a well-played first half, Paul. Any other changes that you make or look to make in the second half?
No, obviously we're a little bit worried about Dami getting up on that right-hand side. She's caused us a lot of problems, but, you know, if we go out to Dami, we'll get her inside, so it's one or the other. We've got to pick the poison, and we might have to get at least closer to Dami, get Tina a little bit 50-50 between her and boxing. Buskowski's done a good job, just shielding us from press and one back from the balls going into their feet. And I think overall we've done a pretty good job. Hopefully we'll settle down, play a bit better soccer second half. But happy with Sinead Farrelly, happy with Buskowski. I think Tina could give us a little bit more maybe going forward as well. But happy overall. I think it was we had the better of the half, and it's a matter who's going to put the big chance away to win the game.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
He is the two-time WPS Coach of the Year, and this is the WPS Super Semi. No score. We'll have the highlights when we come back to PPL Park.
Hi, I'm Abby Wambach, and I used my head a lot to score in this year's World Cup. I'm here to tell you how you can score the hottest money-saving device since the invention of the telephone. It's called the magicJack. I used it to call home every day for free, saving me hundreds of dollars. I love magicJack, and you will too.
I wasn't born to push papers. I was born to push myself. To go where I'm needed. To keep this country safe. I was born with the backbone and brain power to take on any mission. This is my office. I was born ready.
Go CoastGuard.com/reserve.
Premiering The Revolution by LG, the newest release with Verizon 4G LTE, the first phone preloaded with access to Netflix's massive movie library, powered by Verizon 4G LTE for an unparalleled streaming experience. See how mobile entertainment was meant to be seen. Only with Verizon 4G LTE, built so you can rule the air.
Now get 3 months of Netflix free with the purchase of The Revolution by LG.
Hi, I'm Abby Wambach, and I used my head a lot to score in this year's World Cup. I'm here to tell you how you can score the hottest money-saving device since the invention of the telephone. It's called the magicJack. I used it to call home every day for free, saving me hundreds of dollars. I love magicJack, and you will too.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
It's why they race. It's the playoffs, and there's no time to play it safe. Everything is on the line in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. And now, that chase begins at Chicagoland Speedway. Single-day tickets are on sale now and include free parking and a pre-race concert by Darius Rucker. Call 888-629-RACE or visit ChicagolandSpeedway.com. Chicagoland Speedway. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here.
Guys live their life a little differently. And we get it. So we built Sport Clips exclusively for you. We know happiness is a big screen TV, a legendary hot steam towel, a relaxing neck and shoulder massage, and hair that always looks great. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. Find the store near you and ask for our MVP treatment.
We got a good one here. The USA Women's International Team will take on Canada Saturday, September 17th, 7 p.m. And you can see it right here on Fox. Abby Wambach and the entire USA team takes on Canada Saturday, September 17th. Dean Linke along with Jen Hildreth. No score in the Super Semifinal. Your thoughts on the first 45, Jen?
An exciting match so far. Both of these teams trying to play their game. Philadelphia quick and right up the middle. magicJack trying to get outside and serve in. So far, nobody's been able to break through.
Let's roll right to the highlights.
Well, there were a lot of good-looking chances for both teams. Kristen Press pulls the trigger here, and it takes a great save from Nicole Barnhart to tap it over the bar. Then Jillian Loyden comes out on the other end. Tasha Kai can't quite get the chip over and in. And then another chance here for Press. Wambach, offside flag had come up on that sequence, but a dangerous one nonetheless. Tina DiMartino breaks for a great look. Jillian Loyden making it look easy. Some good goalkeeping so far in this game has kept us at 0.
The Western New York Flash await the winner here in Philadelphia. We'll have the second half kickoff. When we come back, it's the WPS Super Semi.
All-stars versus small-town heroes.
Cut a hole in this hood and I'll cut your neck.
Car Warriors. It all begins Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, followed by Car Science, only on Speed.
We didn't just add guacamole, bacon, and Swiss to a burger. We added it to a Whopper. Enjoy the California Whopper and California Whopper Junior sandwiches, only at Burger King.
It was created with the power of Verizon 4G LTE. Introducing the lightning-fast 10-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab. Stay up to date, entertain yourself, and enrich your knowledge like you've never imagined. Only at Verizon. Built so you can rule the air.
I wasn't born to push papers. I was born to push myself. To go where I'm needed. To keep this country safe. I was born with the backbone and brain power to take on any mission. This is my office. I was born ready.
Go coastguard.com/reserve.
Hi, I'm Abby Wambach, and I used my head a lot to score in this year's World Cup. I'm here to tell you how you can score the hottest money-saving device since the invention of the telephone. It's called the magicJack. I use it to call home every day for free, saving me hundreds of dollars. I love magicJack, and you will too.
Get Total Sox coverage online with csnchicago.com, powered by AT&T. For an inside look at the Sox season, visit csnchicago.com, a fan's best friend online.
Tag Heuer. 150 years ago, in a workshop in Switzerland, a perfect watch was born. Time passed, tools changed. Year after year, Tag Heuer watchmakers have pioneered precision. Tag Heuer watches became a legend. Tag Heuer. What are you made of? Available at Tag Heuer boutiques and authorized retailers. Visit tagheuer.com for locations.
I still have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream today.
Join us at the DuSable Museum in Chicago on August 20th for a live roundtable discussion inspired by the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
The USO provides every American a way to support our wounded warriors and their families. Visit USO.org to learn how you can make a difference in their lives.
Delaware River, and I'll tell you what, no score here in the WPS Super Semi, but it has indeed been exciting. Philadelphia and Magic Jack, Dean Linke along with Jen Hildreth. Of course, Magic Jack led by player coach Abby Wambach. Went in at halftime. What did she say to her team? What does she do to get a goal here for the visitors?
I think probably the message from Abby Wambach was, hey, let's play our game. We know we've got the individuals that can beat the matchups out there. We know we've got matchups we can exploit, in other words. Find me in the middle. Use the outside. Use the width. We want to get it to Rapinoe. We want to get it to Huffman. We need those two more involved. They haven't been involved enough in the service so far. Philadelphia is trying to push everything to the middle, and Magic Jack has settled for that a little bit too much, I think, so far in this game.
Looks like Lisa Devanna will also come in for Abby Wambach's Magic Jack team, wearing the number 11 jersey. Had 2 goals in the last matchup to end the regular season against this Philadelphia team. So Devanna comes in.
Lisa Devanna had both the goals against Philadelphia last Sunday.
I'm going to guess Kristen Press, most likely the player should replace. Indeed, it is Kristen Press. So Abby Wambach going to her bench here. It's win or go home time. Tasha Kai plays it into space. Rampone and Kai were teammates. They won the WPS title a couple years ago. Sent across. Great stuff out of the gates. Here's Kai. What a fake. What a juke. Oh! What a move. Tasha Kai, Philadelphia.
I'm not sure any player finds a way to make more out of perseverance than Tasha Kai. She just pounces on a ball that is not cleared well by Magic Jack, steps in, great move to fake the defender off, and then the shot itself is easy.
So flamboyant, so electric. 10th goal of the season for 00 Tasha Kai. And boy, do they love her in Philadelphia.
The opening minutes of a half can often be some of the most dangerous. The last 5 and the first 5, always the ones you're told to watch out for. And Magic Jack just maybe getting a little lazy with the clearance, and Kai made him pay for it.
Kai. We'll definitely take another look at that one. Great individual effort, playing it into space, and then just a brilliant juke. Completely spun the back line of Magic Jack, and just a quality finish.
Paul Riley might have had some conversations with Tasha Kai, much like we talked about, that when you get your chances, you need to finish in front of goal, and she took them to heart.
DiMartino. Kai.
Why not? Go ahead, take another one in there. Got the hot hand at the moment.
Farley. Kai is offside. What a brilliant goal here, Jen.
I mean, she just beats Rapinoe to this ball, and then the step over fake is what completely opened up the shot. And then Tasha Kai sent it on home.
Christy Rampone went with the fake. DiMartino.
Speed of Devanna there. Sorry, Dean. As she's inserted into the match. And she didn't play at all Wednesday night. So those are some really fresh, fast legs on the pitch now for Magic Jack.
A-Rod, Amy Rodriguez. tackle by Schmidt. Rapinoe to Rampone. Rampone sends it across. Wambach's there. Chests it twice. Tried to hit it with the left, hits it with the right, and a save by Nicole Barnhart.
Wow. Abby Wambach in the box, makes something out of nothing there at the end. Great save by Barnhart. Little unlucky Philadelphia was that the deflection went right back to Wambach after that initial. Ball was brought down.
Rapinoe. Wambach clears some space. Laskowski. Kai in a foot race with Huffman.
And if you're Philadelphia, you know the counter punch is coming. You might have just gotten the first shot in, but you know magicJack's going to counter. You've got to keep the pressure on yourself.
Speaking of counters, here comes Philadelphia. Kai. Better option may have been DiMartino, who made that run.
A lot of traffic around Boquette on that ball.
Farley. Rampone steps in and wins it. McNeil with a couple steps on Wambach. Great defensive play. No doubt about the counter punches are coming. If you were alive at all this summer, you know what USA did against Brazil, and a lot of those players are on the field here for magicJack. Devana in a foot race as Rapinoe found Wambach in that one. There's Wambach right there. Of course, Christy Rampone, Shannon Box. You know there's going to be a lot of punches coming here, Jen.
And obviously, any set piece is a dangerous opportunity when you've got Abby Wambach as a target, as well as Shannon Box. Both of those two very strong in the air.
Kai heads it out. Abby Wambach's shadow. Kia McNeil stays with her, and McNeil wins it. Vandenberg, one too many touches. A-Rod comes over to help support. Now the counter attack. You're going to see a lot of this as well as magicJack is pressing for the equalizer. Boquette has DiMartino. She is onside.
And nobody else. I mean, I think there was plenty of time there for Philadelphia to get some more help. This was a little bit of what troubled them, I thought, early in the first half, that when they got counterattack opportunities, they weren't bringing enough numbers and support, and that certainly seemed to be the case there. DiMartino and Boquette were up there all alone.
Boquette, MVP. Devana does well to keep it alive to Huffman. Huffman sends it in. Once again, McNeil. Boquette over the top to A-Rod.
Right idea, but a little too strong, too far out in front of Amy Rodriguez. But I think down on the other end, magicJack needs to do something to pull apart those central defenders. Kia McNeil and Nikki Krizik are doing a really nice job of keeping that central space and that central target Abby Wambach defended. May not be the initial ball that will be the most successful one for magicJack. They might need to pass it around a couple of times, then go back out and look for the service. My key for Philadelphia was to pressure the passers, and so far the Independents have done a fine job of that.
magicJack with Christy Rampone winning that one, but once again, as Jen just talked about, both those defenders, Krizik and McNeil, side by side. Boquette to DiMartino. Robinson thinking about joining in. She's open on the left. DiMartino doesn't see her for the moment. Knocked to the ground, no whistle. Krizik on to Vanna. Nikki Krizik kind of epitomizes how Paul Riley built this team, particularly this year. Player that was basically cast aside by Chicago. Cannot get her out of the lineup. Johnson. Kai to DiMartino. A-Rod is there. Sauerbrunn. 1v1 matchup. Buskowski. Sent in. Philadelphia, Boquette. Another great fake. This time Rampone stays with it. Schmidt can't head it. A-Rod can't quite get her body around it, and this one will come back to magicJack. Paul Riley looking to make a substitution here. Joanna Lohman comes in. What does that do for Philadelphia, Jen?
Well, Lohman, I mean, playing with the lead, Lohman is a player who can keep possession possibly a little better, a little more of a defensive-minded midfielder than Tina DiMartino is. But a strong player in her own right, one that I know that Paul Riley had trouble keeping on the bench, just a matter of figuring out who worked best in what situations, and Lohman can certainly come in and give them some good bite in the midfield, help keep possession.
Lohman had such a great year last year that Pia Sundhage was taking a look at her and then suffered a little bit of an injury, and she and Lori Lindsay both not played a ton this season for Philadelphia, but have had great attitudes. Here's Rapinoe. Rapinoe with Krizik on her. Nicole Barnhart.
Yeah, gosh, when we were talking about Philadelphia's bench, didn't even mention Lori Lindsay being on there, a midfielder with the U.S. national team in the ranks for the Independents, and has just had difficulty fitting into this lineup this season for Philadelphia with all the time she was away with the U.S. national team and the great core of players that Paul Riley has at his disposal.
Credit to her attitude, though. Paul Riley definitely wanted to point that out, so it still shows up. Positive attitude coming off the World Cup and still not playing. I like to hear that, Jen.
Oh, yeah, he said no problem at all with that.
Rapinoe to Wambach, as Wambach coming all the way back to get something going for magicJack. They trail. The winner will take on Western New York Flash for all the marbles. Rapinoe. Wambach makes the run. They'll go right side to Huffman. Dalmy's going to make the overlapping run. Sent in. Vanna's there, so is Wambach. Who to go off? Corner kick, magicJack.
That was a nice possession by magicJack, though, and I think a good decision by Megan Rapinoe not to play the first ball through to Vanna, which would have seemed to be the first option available to her. Instead, she switches fields, allows Abby Wambach time to get back in and become a target on the play.
Rapinoe. Schmidt makes the near post run. Like a planned play for Schmidt. Sauerbrunn. It was Rampone who went forward in the first half. Wambach looked way offside. They say no. Sent back in. Schmidt is there. So is Vanna, but so is the flag. Offside, magicJack.
There's a play where it looked like Wambach off. She kind of looped back around, and that one, there's no doubt about Vanna being off, and the flag came up.
Joanna Lohman. A-Rod. Dancing. Looking for some support. She'll take the shot instead. Dance just enough to create her own space.
Boyden rocking the playoff hairdo there for magicJack, too. Blondes have more fun, she was telling us after the playoff win on Wednesday night.
A lot of great personalities on display on and off the field here. Started on the left, now it's on the right side to Dalmy. Sauerbrunn will survey. Box shows. Box receives. Vandenberg going in for Tina Ellertson. The hamstring in the win over Boston on Wednesday. Kai is offside. Boy, that was tight.
Yeah, you know, it looked like she was getting ready to make her run back up behind the defense, and Boquette released the ball just a little bit too soon. Kai was coming back toward the ball to get back on and just couldn't get there in time for that one.
Every time Wambach is near the ball, Kia McNeil is all over her. Lohman. Paul Riley said if they get up a goal, he would go to Lohman. Right on cue. He doesn't hold anything back.
No,
refreshing to talk to, huh, Jen?
It is. He's great. He really lets you get in the mind of a coach a little bit and figure out what he's thinking about and the decisions that he makes. Certainly, I always appreciate his candor, and there's never a dull moment when you're talking to Paul Riley either.
When he gets going, he's one of the fastest talkers around. What a job he's done as he gives some instruction to Denisha Adams. A-Rod stays with it. Amy Rodriguez has Kai in front of her. A-Rod for the second time will take a shot. Thought she was fouled.
That's maybe 2 or 3 times, though, where that's the problem with the relationship between those two. Not the good option there for Amy Rodriguez. Could have found something much better with Kai. Needed to either play it earlier or wait for her to make another run, but that shot was just far too easy.
Huffman will first time it. Krizik clears it. Denisha Adams, we are told, will come in for Kai. If it ends right now, Kai will have the goal that puts Philadelphia in the final against Western New York. Rapinoe with Lohman. Is on it now. Dalmy. Box. Schmidt. Philadelphia. Clear it out. magicJack's played so many games. They had the playoff game on Wednesday. Are they a little tired here, Jen?
Yeah, I think so. I think certainly some fatigue is seeping in. And add to that, they're having to work so hard through the midfield to get the ball up into their attack. They're having to really spend a lot of time defending. As Tasha Kai gets a nice round of applause from the crowd. Denisha Adams comes in, but yeah, I think fatigue certainly is playing into this a little bit.
Left-footed shot, no problem for Nicole Barnhart, and another reason why Paul Riley is always comfortable with a 1-goal lead. When you talk about Nicole Barnhart, you're talking about one of the premier goalkeepers in the world. Wambach looking for Devanna. Devanna never gives up on a ball.
Philadelphia has made magicJack predictable in this match, and in doing so have defended them quite well.
So Jen Kai, so flamboyant, so exciting. I always hate when she goes to the bench because you never know what she's going to do. But what does Denisha Adams bring for Paul Riley up there?
Well, she brings some fresh legs and some speed as well. I mean, she's not as deceptive in her runs as Tasha Kai is, but has had some success against magicJack this season, especially during the break when a lot of the players were missing for magicJack. Denisha Adams came up huge for Philadelphia, had 2 goals against magicJack on June 18th, part of that 6-0 rout.
Stell Johnson stayed with it, cleared it out. Rapinoe, great throw into Devana. Devana with Krizik hanging on her. Laskowski comes over in support. Laskowski will clear it out, just a throw in for magicJack, but Rapinoe's got a great throw in. She may leave it for Vandenberg. Vandenberg comes over in support. Devana back to Rapinoe. It's another throw in. Rapinoe, great ball to Vandenberg. Set across! Off the crossbar from Wambach. So close. Abby Wambach. magicJack stays with it. Huffman. Another shot, this time from Schmidt.
You best not be punching Philadelphia's ticket to the final just yet. That's all it takes, is that right ball. Somebody getting free and getting just the right kind of service in for Abby Wambach to finish off. This one very nearly does it. I think Barnhart gets a piece of that as well as the crossbar.
magicJack not done, as Jen just pointed out. Corner kick to the visitors.
Vandenberg did well here. Kia McNeil a step behind Abby Wambach. That ball came in quickly. Kia was not able to get positionally where she needed to be, and Abby nearly made her pay for it.
Huffman, this ball's got some swerve on it. Shannon Box comes crashing in. Abby Wambach was also there.
One of the changes that magicJack has made down the stretch here since Abby Wambach has been named player coach, that was a change essentially taking place upon her return from the World Cup, is they switched their formation from a 3-4-3, which she quite honestly told us was a formation not a lot of her teammates really felt comfortable or believed in, to a 4-4-2, but I wonder if and when they may go to 3, as Amy Rodriguez gets called for offside here, if they go to 3 in this match to try to push, because they've got a player in Ella Nassar on the bench who can bring in a ton of energy. She was huge for magicJack when a lot of the players were away, and I just don't know who you take off other than somebody else in the midfield, maybe a Sophie Schmidt, and bring in Nassar, give her a chance to run on up there along with Devana. Those two hooked up for 2 goals just a week ago against Philadelphia.
An eye on the bench. As for sure, Abby Wambach's gonna bring everything here. She'll bring it right now. Shoves Krizik to the side, but Nicole Barnhart will clear it. Whistle and a foul. Ted Uncle running the show.
Boquette's been quiet the last few minutes of this second half. Dean, haven't called her name much. magicJack's had a lot more possession of the ball.
Vandenberg could have walked that one in, instead tried to give it back to Rapinoe. I do think as you look at Paul Riley, the 2-time WPS Coach of the Year, you got to give Vandenberg quite a bit of credit for filling in for Ellerton.
Yeah, she's been impressive. I don't think she's proven herself to be a weak link at all. Certainly give her a ton of credit.
Boquette just talked about the fact she hasn't seen it a whole lot. She had 3 white jerseys all over, and she's able to keep it. Boy, and she was wide open, too. And as we just mentioned, Vandenberg. She's cramping up. Cat would like some water.
It is another hot day in Philadelphia. We get a little spoiled being here at PPL Park. It's much cooler in the booth here than it is at Widener University, but still quite hot down there on the field, I'm sure.
Widener's been a great part of Philadelphia's success, but this is one of the premier soccer facilities in the country.
Little drink break gave Abby Wambach a chance as the coach to come over and talk to her bench. I believe she made the motion to get Ella Masser into the match, but we'll see if that is official or not here in a few moments. Looks like it is.
Adams, flag stays down. Adams can turn. Lloyden.
She's been so good. You know, hasn't had any saves that have looked spectacular, but I think that's because she's done such a good job of getting in the right position.
Vanna went down hard on that one.
Oh, just catches the elbow of Kia McNeil coming back down. McNeil went up and won the ball, and Devanna was in the wrong place.
Yeah, definitely not on purpose, but that one will sting a little bit.
Glad to see the Australian international back up on her feet.
So here now down a goal, you're going to start seeing some offense for defense, as you just talked about. Jen Hildreth, Ella Masser are going to come in for Vandenberg. So they may indeed go back to 3 in the back, which is common down a goal.
And maybe all that time playing in that formation this season will help magicJack at this point. Something not unfamiliar to them.
Masser brings 4 goals and 2 assists onto the field. She's a little disappointed she didn't get in that Boston Breakers game. There's Rapinoe and Denisha Adams. A little pushing and shoving. Denisha with a big smile.
Going to call her over as well, have a little conversation. Things get a little chippy.
Masser started at University of Illinois and Janet Rayfield. Rampone. Schmidt was hoping to flick it. Vero in space, spins Schmidt. Farley. Adams back to Farley. A-Rod was wide open and patiently waiting. Now she'll have it. She can shoot it. A-Rod does! Looking for that far post to make it 2-0, but just a bit wide.
And if you're Philadelphia, you need to keep attacking when you get moments like these, as Amy Rodriguez does. Again, just a bit off for A-Rod. Frustrating year for her. But what you don't want if you're Philadelphia is to get comfortable with this 1-0 lead. See Amy Rodriguez's numbers last season. A huge drop-off this year, albeit in a year much shortened by her World Cup duties.
Hoping to back heel to Huffman.
But with magicJack pressing, you don't want to wait and get comfortable and then wait till it's evened up to try to think, okay, now we need to get back to what we were doing before. You need to keep doing what you were doing before offensively anytime you get a chance to move into the attack.
Box, part of that attack. Sent across, and look at Barnhart. Comes out, both hands. Brings it in under pressure.
Talking to her defense, too. Don't give up. Don't allow these crosses to get off. Philadelphia has done such a fantastic job in this match of not allowing magicJack to get out wide and send that service in, and they need to keep that up if they want to hold on to the lead.
Marta, Christine Sinclair, Alex Morgan all await the winner of this one. Western New York Flash. Veronica Boquette.
Sophie Schmidt really giving her a hard time on the ball. Well defended.
Beautiful afternoon here south of Philadelphia. PPL Park, home to the WPS Super Semi on Fox. A-Rod. Support is Lohman. They're behind Lohman. Lohman sends it back across. Adams chested down. This one goes off the crossbar. The third time we've chipped some paint here. Press and Wambach for magicJack. Now Adams for Philadelphia. Devana. Rampone, how does she keep on going? Johnson defending, Barnhart cleaning it up. How about this last chance, Jen?
And once Denisha Adams wanted to go to Amy Rodriguez, she was trying to be unselfish. The ball just comes back to her, and she makes almost as much of it as she can. Turns quickly with a nice little shot that happens to run into the crossbar instead of into the goal, but nice bit of work from Denisha Adams and Sinead Farley to start that play.
Turn quick and turn with power. Rapinoe will win it back. Hang on here, looking for Wambach.
And you see what Kia McNeil is doing. She's waiting and watching, not necessarily right on the hip of Abby Wambach, but reading where she thinks that ball is going to come. She's trying to step into the play.
Master on the turn.
Thus has done very well with that.
Huffman. Wambach directing traffic. They'll give it to Box. Box with her right foot. Johnson, not the best clearance, and Devana will run it down.
That's 2 in a row for Estelle Johnson. She's either gotten tired or gotten lazy and has not cleared the ball. The time before is Abby's going to complain mightily about the possession of this ball. But Estelle Johnson, if she's tired, needs to wave her hand to Paul Riley. I think they have 1 sub remaining, don't they, Dean? And we'll see if Abby has a case here. This is the last play.
Soft.
Well, the call, though, the call was offside. That's what they gave him? Okay, I thought initially the call was goal kick.
Flag was up on the far side as you saw Devana right there.
And it looked, and that was correct then.
78th minute, Philadelphia, the goal by Tasha Kai, a brilliant individual effort. Wambach, Shetz Johnson, Buskowski comes in support. Corner kick, magicJack.
Each team with 1 substitution remaining as Megan Rapinoe will line this one up.
Rapinoe. Barnhart. Big right paw. Goal kick back to the home team. The fans getting behind the Philadelphia Independents.
Bending back toward Barnhart. She clears it out.
From Pennsylvania, thrilled to be back here playing for the Independents. Kind of become a Northern California girl, so good at Stanford. Farley. This one will deflect. Masser won it for a moment, but Farley will clean it up. Roman out on that left side. He's done well off the bench for Paul Riley. A-Rod, little juke, trying to create some space. Rampone with her. Step over. Rampone will not dive in, but a corner kick for A-Rod in Philadelphia.
It's a big job for those three defenders for magicJack now. Christy Rampone, Becky Sauerbrunn, Dolmy on the outside as well. Three in the back are going to have to defend and try to turn things into offense quickly for their team.
Philadelphia looking for their second, right to Lloyden. Lloyden looking to get rid of it quickly. Nothing was there. She'll go left.
And even so, Rampone very active trying to get up. She's made more runs forward in this match than I've seen her do in quite some time in WPS.
Rampone, a converted forward, scored a ton of goals at Monmouth. Also starred for the Monmouth basketball program. But one of the veteran defenders for the USA. Rapinoe has box. Oh, a little more juice on it. Savannah seems to be okay after that inadvertent elbow to the backside of her head by McNeil. Adams, so strong. Good ball to A-Rod. A-Rod is in with Rampone there. A-Rod tries to chip the keeper. A-Rod and Philly 2-0.
Denisha Adams deserves a ton of credit for keeping possession of this ball, kicking it out to A-Rod, and finally Amy Rodriguez finds the finish she needs. Knows Lloyden is off her line, the chip is on, and it is in.
A hug from Vero, the #1 finger is up, and perhaps a date with the Western New York Flash.
We've expected a counterpunch to come from magicJack and haven't seen it yet.
See if it's here, Jen. Rapinoe. (2-0) Philadelphia. Great tackle by Johnson. She'll clear it out. Rapinoe wants the ball. Pushed by Boquette. How about A-Rod? Wins it back. Amy Rodriguez with another dance. Fans like it here at PPL Park, Philadelphia. 6 minutes and change from meeting the Western New York Flash in the WPS Championship game. Sauerbrunn. Wambach, good idea. Schmidt is in. Barnhart is out. It's wide open. Masser's there. And Schmidt twists herself into the ground. Masser wide open in the agony for Sophie Schmidt and magicJack.
It's a beautiful ball here. Masser just slips, and then Sophie Schmidt has a golden opportunity. Just, I think, thinks about it a little bit too much and twists herself up. You've got to do better when the goalkeeper's out. Boy, opportunity missed by magicJack there, but you've got to remember this team so stacked with U.S. national team players, and if ever there was a team that was gutsy and knew how to fight back, I think we saw that from the U.S. women in the World Cup, especially in that match against Brazil. So do not count this team out.
Lohman. Now Philadelphia with that second and so valuable goal. Like to keep possession. Clock is their friend with Masser guarding Lohman. It was Masser, Jen, who was sitting wide open with Barnhart coming out. Sophie Schmidt, as you said, maybe just thought about it a little bit too long. Sauerbrunn. Pino and Adams, they've gone at it earlier, and they clip each other again. And with Laura Del Rio getting ready to come on. A few weeks ago, Jen, we did the tail of the tape, Western New York and Philadelphia, as they were battling for the regular season title, and it was great looking at the different matchups. Anything changed for you in the last 30 days or so?
That's a tough one. I think goalkeeper, maybe. I gave the edge to Ashlyn Harris, who's had a tremendous season with Western New York. A yellow just comes out, by the way.
Abby Wambach got that one.
But Nicole Barnhart, as she's gotten to get some more minutes under her belt for Philadelphia, has certainly looked strong, as we're going to get this substitutions sorted out here for magicJack. Nikki Washington coming in, some more speed, some fresh legs. And it was interesting just a moment ago, Tina Ellertson was up off the bench trying to call out to Abby. Remember, Abby Wambach pulling double duty here as the player coach, asking, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to bring a sub in now? Not always an easy decision to make when you're out in the middle of the fray.
Great catch, Jen. Interesting part of the magicJack team, the dynamic. Abby Wambach as the player coach.
But if you look ahead just a little bit, Dean, I mean, Philadelphia is the only team to beat Western New York this season. So certainly those are two squads that should provide an entertaining matchup.
Should be a great matchup. Definitely, really, there's not going to be a loser in this one in terms of the matchup against Western New York. Of course, Rochester fans were hoping Abby Wambach, who captured the hearts of the entire country to the Women's World Cup, would come back to her hometown. But right now, Philadelphia is the #2 seed, a week's rest, looking strong, and just minutes away from a date with Western New York in the WPS Championship. Rapinoe earns a corner kick. They can pull one back here. Anything's possible.
You said it earlier, any set piece opportunity is a dangerous opportunity for magicJack.
Driven in. Trouble. Wambach was there. And McNeil was also lurking. What a great ball, though, for Rapinoe. Almost found Wambach, as Barnhart was actually a little bit in no man's land that time.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Dean. That's why this ball is so perfect from Rapinoe, is Barnhart kind of comes and doesn't get to it, and Kia McNeil went up in the air just enough to throw Abby Wambach off, maybe take her eye off the ball, and neither of them get to it. You can't discount the job that Kia McNeil has done defending one of the world's best in this match today.
Masser, great ball to Sauerbrunn. Schmidt cannot run it down. Next Saturday from Rochester, the Western New York Flash. And the winner of this one, which looks right now to be Philadelphia. Pre-game show starts at 3:30. It'll be a great scene in Rochester, Jen, live on FSN. Of added time as just about in the 90th minute. Rampone, Lohman, exactly what Coach Riley wanted to do off the bench. And how about Denisha Adams as well? Adams, great ball. Del Rio with Rampone. Lloyden is off. Now she's back in. And Rampone comes back in support, and I think she'll keep it in bounds. Still life for magicJack.
Philadelphia just proving to be the better team in this match. And part of that, I think, is being the more rested team. I do think that fatigue and this whole season, both on and off the field, it's been a lot for the magicJack players to absorb and battle through, and it's caught up with them against a real quality opponent in Philadelphia today.
magicJack playing so many games from mid-July through today, almost every Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday. Most of their team, as Jen's pointed out, 7 U.S. World Cup players, plus Sophie Schmidt coming back. 3 minutes of added time. Masser, race with Johnson. Masser keeps it alive. Back to her left. Throw in. magicJack.
Masser trying to breathe a little bit of life into her teammates.
Schmidt, a great ball. Nikki Washington, second in the league in assists as a mostly reserve player with 7.
4 of those assists with magicJack, 3 with Boston.
Great shot by Box. Barnhart has the near post covered. What a cannon from Shannon Box.
Yeah, just, you know, you can tell how much pace was put on that ball by the fact that Barnhart had to parry it away. Wanted to make sure it didn't get through, and the service in afterward, a good one to the far post. 4 players down.
Everybody crashing in, and Philadelphia giving everything they can.
Played it. There's the play that earned the corner. The 0 remains on the scoreboard for the Philadelphia defense.
Del Rio. She will get the whistle, and with only a minute left.
Shoved to the ground. Probably Dalmy would be deserving of a yellow there, but it doesn't make an awful lot of difference at this point.
Tasha Kai and the Philadelphia bench bouncing around behind Paul Riley. Left side flag stays down. Could it be 3-0? Side netting for Del Rio. .30 seconds left. Philadelphia Independence, the Western New York Flash have been the 2 best teams all season long, down to the wire, battling for the regular season title, and probably only fitting they'll meet for the WPS championship, Jen.
I think you just said it, Dean. They have been the 2 best all season long. magicJack certainly threw their name in the hat, but a little bit too much for them to overcome in the end. I think this playoff format really does benefit the higher-ranked and rested teams. Certainly Sky Blue FC found a way to battle through that in the inaugural year, but you can see the fatigue both in Boston on Wednesday and in magicJack today.
Bench starting to celebrate. Tasha Kai, there's the whistle. The Philadelphia Independents knock off magicJack, and they're going to the WPS championship game.
Quite a match for the Independents. They stuck to their game plan, did a tremendous job defensively to keep magicJack from being as dangerous as we know they can be. And then offensively, boy, this team just brings so many numbers at you, and they're so precise coming down the middle. Tasha Kai got it all started, and that was enough for this one.
So many great moments in this one as we walk to the Coast Guard save of the game.
Both goalkeepers, I thought, had a great match, but our save of the game came early. Kristen Press with a rocket in, and Nicole Barnhart had to be quick and on her toes, and she is up for it.
And how about the city play of the game, one of the great goals of the year.
Yeah, Tasha Kai with just enough of a fake to pull the defense away, open up the goal, and then it's just an easy left foot into that far corner.
Philadelphia, Western New York should be a great one, Jen.
Absolutely. That should be a fantastic matchup. Western New York has been resting and watching, but now we've got a full week for Philadelphia to game plan as well. That should be an amazing battle for the title.
Pre-game show starts next Saturday, 3:30. It's Western New York and Philadelphia. For Bill Cullen, our producer, Wayne Wilson, our director, my broadcast partner, Jen Hildreth. I'm Dean Linke from PPL Park in the WPS Super Semi. It's Philadelphia 2, magicJack 0. Next week, the WPS Final. It's Western New York and Philadelphia. And you'll see it right here on Fox.